See how to turn a bowl from freshly cut birchwood. You can also see my method of dry the wood in a microwave, so the wood don't crack. And how I transfer a logo printed on a laser printer to the wood. Make sure you have a freshly cut tree without any cracks. Cut a piece, at least 10 centimeters longer than what you expect the bowl to be. Cut it in as a straight angle as possible. Fasten it to the lathe with a faceplate. Make sure it is fastened in a right angle. The moisture is 32%, which is fine. It means we can lose over 30% of the weight in the drying process. First I make a tenon to fasten it in the lathe chuck later. I turn it roughly and leave about 1 centimeter extra wood on all sides, before the drying process start. After the drying process is finished, I will fine turn it, to the desired shape. Remove the faceplate and use the tenon to fasten it to the chuck. Roughly turn the inside of the bowl. I like to mark it, so I can put it back in the same place, after the drying process is finished. Here we go with the drying process. First, write down the initial weight. The weight is 723 grams. Put it in the microwave for 4 minutes on full power, about 700 watt. Take it out and leave it for 4 to 5 minutes. I like to write down the weight every time I take it out, and after the rest. I calculate the weight loss in percent. After first rest, I put it in for 3 minutes. Rest again for 4 to 5 minutes and put it in for 2 minutes. Rest again, and put it in for 1 minute. Repeat the last step until the weight has dropped to about 20 to 25%. If there is no weight loss, the wood is dry, and can caught fire if you microwave it for too long. The fire will then often start from inside the wood. Here you can see what happened to me. I managed to stop the fire before it got dangerous, because I could smell the smoke. The last rest should be 24 to 48 hours. This is because the rest moisture in the wood then would spread evenly through the wood, and more moisture will disappear within this time. I managed to get a total weight loss of about 35%. The last 7% weight loss came in the last resting time of 2 days. Here is a table of the drying process for this bowl. You can find a link in the description to this Excel spreadsheet. Just fill in the weight, and it will calculate the weight loss and percent weight loss for you. After it is dry, it is time to start fine turn it. Put it back in the lathe and start by even up the sides, since the wood will change shape and shrink through the drying process. turning dry wood is quite dusty. Sand it with different grain sandpaper. I start with 120 and gradually increase to 400. Use a parting tool to remove it from the lathe. Sand the bottom so it is flush. How to transfer a logo to the bottom of the bowl. You must print out a mirror image of the text. You can do this in Microsoft Word in the following way. Use a text box. Right-click the text box and choose Format Shape. Choose 3D Rotation in the left pane. Change the X setting to 180. Click OK, and Word flips the text in the text box, producing a mirror image. Print out the mirror image. I have used a laser printer. I don't know if this works on an inkjet printer. Place it on the bowl, and fasten it with the tape. Use acetone on a tissue paper, and press it down against the logo paper on all sides of the logo.
Acetone can also be found in nail polish remover.
Thank you, Zira. You can take over in finishing the bowl for me.
Okay, Mark. I use clear epoxy resin. 5-part resin and 1 part hardener. I measure it on a gram scale. 30 grams of resin and 6 grams of hardener. Use a cheap brush to paint it on, since there is no way to rinse the brush after using epoxy. Paint the rim last, since it can be small pieces of bark and dirt on it. Let it dry overnight. It's finished. 1 coat of the resin will make a matte finish, because the resin pulls into the wood. 1 additional coat will make a glossy finish. This epoxy resin is also food-proof. After it is dry, you can make it over with a fine sandpaper to smooth it out.